Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Tuesday, you know what that means. It's time for the number one sports podcast in the world. It's time for Sports4U. Live on YouTube, I'm John. That's Mark. Yeah. Dick Reesman on the way momentarily. We're now on TV screens and mobile devices, laptops and desktops on YouTube and X. Make sure you subscribe to Sports4U Podcast on YouTube. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Sports4U Podcast. Follow me at John Watkins 0984 on X, Instagram, and podcast. Follow Mark on Instagram, Mark1 on X. And of course, you can follow Nick on Instagram and X and on TikTok and 99 Gorilla. And then there were four. We are now in the NBA's version of the Final Four, as we are now in the conference finals. And we officially begin that tonight. As of right now, we're in the middle of game one of the Western Conference Finals between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And the Thunder have went on a now 10-0 run and have taken a 66-60 lead with 4:19 left in the third quarter. So let's go ahead and get into that. We now have 4 teams left on the quest to see who will be the next NBA champion. Those 4 teams are the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Indiana Pacers, and the New York Knicks. All are now in the conference finals.
The New York Knickerbockers. Is that what old girl said?
Are you good?
My bad.
We have 2 teams who were there last year, the Timberwolves and the Pacers were looking for redemption. And obviously, you got the Thunder, who have been there since 2016. This is the first time they've been there in the post Kevin Durant era. And then you got the Knicks, who haven't been there in 25 years, since the year 2000. Yo, Bella, that's wild. So let's talk about the West, since we're watching the right. So we're watching the West right now. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Of course, we know that the Timberwolves got there. What up, Chris? The Timberwolves got there.
Chris, what up with it?
By eliminating the Golden State Warriors in 5. The OKC Thunder this past Sunday won Game 7. Just destroyed the Denver Nuggets in 7 games.
Game 7, I destroyed.
Games, yeah. But shout out to Aaron Gordon. We're gonna talk about him because he has some words to say post game about the way the schedule is. We'll talk about that. But these are the 4 teams that are here.
I'm not doing
it. These are the 4 teams. What you think, Mark?
I think it'll be a good conference finals, man, for both on the East and West. Of course, I think the West is it'll be a little bit more interesting. I think who wins the West is going to win a championship.
I agree with that.
But yeah, that Knicks Pacers rivalry that they had going on for a couple of years, it's good to see that rebuilt up again, man.
It's only right that the last series on TNT is the Pacers and the Knicks, and Reggie Miller is going to be on the call for this series in his final years with TNT. Obviously TNT is now going over to is now officially leaving the NBA coverage, and now NBC, Amazon Prime are picking up the coverage, along with ESPN. And Reggie Miller's going over to NBC, but so he'll get a chance to call these games. Oh man, I'm really looking forward to the series. But the series we're watching right now, we're talking game 1 of the Western Conference Finals with the Thunder and the Timberwolves. I think both of these series are going 7 games. Both of these series are going 7 games. And obviously, you got SGA, who we also will sometime this week will be named MVP. against a guy who claims he doesn't want to be the face of the league, and Edwards, but he sure is playing like it. Um, what up, boss lady? Shout out to you in Miami. Great show earlier today on Talk It Up. Um, so I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with this series. I think this series is going to, like I said, I think both series are going 7, but this series, I think, like you said, it's going to determine who wins the title. I think whoever comes out of the West wins it. Um, but yeah, game 1 of the Pacers and the Knicks will begin tomorrow. Thursday, you're welcome. Thursday, game 2 of the Western Conference Finals with OKC and Minnesota. Friday, game 2 during our show. Friday will be game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and then no games on Saturday. They'll be back Sunday. Will be game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. Will shift to Minnesota, and then Memorial Day we'll have game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals as it shifts back to Indiana. Then game 4 when we're back here next Tuesday in the West, and then game 4 next Wednesday. So check the schedules, plan accordingly for your conference finals. But let's talk about the teams who were
eliminated.
I don't know how I put these two there. We already talked about them last week.
It's going to Cancun and
they're going to Cancun. Let's stay with the West. With the Denver Nuggets. This is what they're looking like, and obviously they're pretty much cap strapped because they're right now already in the first apron. Looks like they got a player option on Darius Sarge. I didn't even know I didn't know he was on the team. Russell Westbrook has a player option. Obviously, pretty much the roster is pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
All right, McDonald's Nuggets. So do I, boss lady. That's funny. Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic, pretty much the squad. They don't have no draft picks. They only got the taxpayer exception, vet minimums. So this is pretty much what you're going to see. Peyton Watson.
Unless they make a trade.
They're pretty much cap strapped, and the question is, the only real question with that roster is, two main questions. One, who's going to be the head coach next year? Does David Adelman get the interim tag removed based off what he did at the end of the season? Or they go and hire another coach. Speaking of their coach, Michael Malone is actually working pregame for ESPN on Countdown. And then
getting double them checks.
Yeah. And then do they bring Russell Westbrook back on that player option? Obviously, it's probably not much, like $3 million, because they really don't have any more other room for improvement.
Yeah, I think they'll bring him back. I do think they'll bring him back. He didn't play bad for him. I think in order for Denver to look different or do something different, they need to make a trade. I don't agree with it, but
it sounds like, well, that said, that was one of the reasons behind why Michael Malone and Calvin Booth GM was fired. The owner really wanted to trade Michael Porter Jr., but obviously they weren't for it. And now the Thunder have now taken an 11-point lead as we're approaching the end of the third quarter. Anthony Edwards had an ankle injury. He came back though. I don't know. Obviously, he would be the one piece because obviously you're not trading Jamal Murray. You're definitely not trading Jokic. Sounds like Aaron Gordon. They just signed Aaron Gordon, so I really don't know who's the piece that they. Obviously, Michael Porter is the one piece out there that they could try to move, but is he? What's his value? He's a good player. I think a lot of teams will want to get Michael Porter, but I don't know do they want him at that price tag.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
And I think that's where the new ownership is having buyer's remorse right now, is that they had to get him, that they're paying this contract and he's not giving the production that's worth what he's getting paid. Jokic said something. And obviously he said that this team was not a. He asked him, "Did they win a championship?" And he basically said no because we didn't win it this year.
I don't like that answer.
I mean, I don't know I mean, he just asked his dude after Game 7 when they lost by like damn near 40 points. What the heck was y'all think he was gonna say? Yeah, we're champions, but the March point, it wasn't the right place. I mean, it wasn't the right place. And knowing everything going on with the roster, you can't just throw your team under the bus like that. Go ahead, Mark.
Um, yeah, I just think, and I understand the emotions you first off, losing by 40, but I think it's a better way you can answer that. Without, like you said, without seemingly, I don't think he did it purposely, without seemingly like you was throwing your teammates under the bus.
Righteous.
Um, it could have been but injuries happened this year. You know what I'm saying? The coaching change, whatever, anything else, but throwing your teammates under the bus, especially when it's more than likely is the same team.
Yeah, I think it's a guarantee. It's gonna be the same team that comes back next year because who the heck is gonna? I mean, like I said they really have no room for unless you trading Jokic or Jamal Murray, and you're not trading and you're not doing that. So you gotta pretty much run this team back. You gotta get the right coach and see, and hopefully a coach that Jokic likes, and then see where y'all go from there. But this is pretty much it. This is going to be their roster going forward, and they're just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, and but they don't have a bad roster. I think all the pieces work well together. We've seen that they are a championship team, and even when they not winning the championship, they contending for a championship. You know what I'm saying? So I think this team is I think is well put together for the players that they have. Like, I know we said that Jokic is the only player that don't have the all stars on his team, but he has a bunch of really good players that fit in that system. And they all do. They all like superstars and they roll. And those are players. Those type of players you need to win championships, man.
I agree. Um, let's go to the team that also was eliminated over the weekend. And that was why we was doing our show Friday.
Now, this team we won't see back as constructed this year.
And that was the team who were the reigning champion, and that is the Boston Celtics. Their season ended in 6 games after losing to the New York Knicks. And obviously, Jason Tatum going down with the torn Achilles. Jaylen Brown did good, but he was also playing with a torn meniscus. We find out after the series was over. Um, so there was really only so much he can do, and he really couldn't because he was already compromised, and obviously the rest of the team couldn't hold their end of the bargain. But look at their situation. They're looking at either 200. They're already over the second apron at 231 million. It could get up to 263. They got picks 28 and 32 in the draft. Obviously, they got to figure out Al Horford's coming back or he's going to retire. Luke Cornett's a free agent, and obviously you're not going to have Jason Tatum probably all next year with that Achilles. And we pretty much have been saying it. It's been no secret. This roster will not be back as currently constructed next season because these new owners are going to want to trim some salary. And obviously now with Jason Tatum down, I think a lot of people would have suggested could they go ahead and make the move for Jaylen Brown. Obviously, some people were saying Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Derek White. What up, Sam?
Sam, what up?
I where do they go from here?
First off, like you said, they're going to have to trim some salary. No new owner wants to come in and pay damn near $500 million in salary.
The fact that your two best players are making over 300 million.
And it sucks because they have one of those teams that's well put together for how they're constructed. Either Drew Holiday or Derek White is going to be gone I don't think Porzingis come back. I think they bring back Luke Cornett. Luke Cornett, he had a good playoff run for him. Yeah, I just I think you go. This team is. I don't want to say they go blow it up, but you go see them take a step back next year because Jason Tatum not gonna be there. I'm not sure if they could trade Jaylen Brown. Um, but yeah, you go see this is not gonna be the same team next year. Now the following year they can get back to being contenders again with the right moves, with the right with the right type of players that come in. But uh, yeah, this year, next year is gonna be a long. It's not gonna be the same year that Boston fans used to seeing.
Said DWE host said no one's going to take them off Boston. I don't know who. I mean, the only person they would want to take is Jaylen Brown. Obviously, the question now Derek White. I don't think obviously Porzingis is injury prone. Drew Holiday is getting up there in age.
But
they're all. I mean, with the exception of Porzingis, because you don't know what you're going to get injury wise. All three of them are productive players. What up, Miami?
Yeah, I think that Drew Holiday in a right system, with the right team, can be a player that can put the team over edge.
Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to figure out how the heck did he end up in Boston, but that I'm done trying to figure. I had stopped figuring that out after
because Milwaukee wanted.
They really chose, and this might sound blasphemy. They really chose Damian Lillard over Drew Holiday.
Yeah, and anybody who watches basketball knows that Dame is a better player. But sometimes when you're putting together a team, it's not about getting the better players, having a better fit.
And Drew Holiday, from the moment he stepped into Milwaukee, was the better fit because he's an all-world defender, and he doesn't need the ball. Miami says someone needs that salary cap to pay them. Yeah, they're gonna need a salary cap. But with the apron, I don't know where. But if you trade someone like Jaylen Brown, you're gonna pretty much help. You're gonna negotiate where Jaylen Brown goes. You're not gonna just trade him. Well, you're not just trading him because
Atlanta.
I mean, if he wants to go there, I think they'll sit him there. But the question is, what would they back? So where does Drew Holiday go?
Well, already. I think Drew Holiday gonna be going anyway.
So we got to keep an eye on that, but they're definitely not going to be the same team. And the question is being asked now in regards to Jaylen Brown. We know he was the finals MVP last year, but now we know Jason Tatum's going to be gone for the whole year now. Can a team led by Jaylen Brown be a championship contender? I think they're for sure a playoff team because he's that good. He's that dude. He's a dog. But can they be a contender if he doesn't have the right number two? Yeah. It's still it's game one, Miami. I mean, not shockingly, OKC's up 10, but this is gonna be a long series. I'm just telling you right now, this is gonna be a long series. The Thunder are up 76-66 as we start the fourth quarter. This is gonna be a long series with the Thunder and the Timberwolves. So y'all just get your popcorn.
I got OKC 6.
I got them at 7. But like I said, like we said earlier, I think whoever comes out of the West is going to be is winning it all. By the way, a fact about the conference finals. This will be the first conference finals since 1996 that didn't take place in the state of California or Texas. Every conference finals from 1997 to 2024 had at least one team that was either played in California or in Texas. I got OKC in 7. Mark said he got OKC in 6. Miami.
Oh.
This is the first time that California, Texas.
State. And then you got Dallas and Texas. You got Dallas and San Antonio.
Lakers, Sacramento,
Lakers,
Clippers.
Shit.
This will be the first time since 1996 the state of California or Texas will not be represented in the the conference finals, in the Western Conference Finals. The last time,
Tupac was alive.
true, it was the Seattle Supersonics and the Utah Jazz in '96. The last time we had,
And the last time that's happened, Tupac was alive. That's crazy, man.
yeah,
It's a crazy ass run that the two states been on. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah, but I don't know if they can. I don't know what Boston's gonna do, but they're gonna have they got some decisions they got to make, and they got to make them fast because if they don't. I mean, I don't think this probably goes. I don't think you get his decision by the draft. Probably got to wait till look. Dame got traded the day before the season. Before training camp. So did Karl-Anthony Towns. So this could drag out throughout the summer. If OKC would. Sam said one thing I know about them right now is the parity, different teams in the conference championship, and that's where I'm gonna go next. This will be the 7th straight year we have not had a repeat NBA champion. We have not had a champion go back to back since the Warriors with KD in 2017 and 2018. Every year, and I think a lot of this has to do with the apron and obviously all the financial ramifications to try to incentivize players to stay in their home, that not leave during free agency. But seven straight year we'll have a new NBA champion. Is parity good for the NBA, Mark?
Yes, to me, it's more exciting. We went through an era where we can, at the beginning of the season, we can say literally 2 to 4 teams had a chance to win championship, and it was like that for 6, 7, 8 years. Now, dog, anybody in the West Coast, anybody in the Western Conference could have beat anybody in the Western Conference, and that's what I said about every team. They could have beat any team in the Western Conference,
right,
and lost to any team in the Western Conference. The Eastern Conference is a little bit more wide open with getting hurt, but yeah, man, I love the parity, man. It's more exciting, man. It makes basketball more fun.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. And the question also was, I heard this on Get Up this morning.
Excuse me?
Relax.
I got you locked up ready.
On ESPN. Are super teams dead?
Super teams by the name of the player, yeah. I think Mr. Toxic himself killed it this year.
Hey, for those who know, who's Mr. Toxic?
Kevin Durant. Him and the Phoenix Suns killed it this year.
Mm-hmm.
What they just shown is that you can't just put three big name players together,
right,
and expect immediate success. Stars, and then that third player is gonna be like right underneath the star. You know what I'm saying? I think teams is gonna be built going forward, because you're gonna need 2 stars to play in this.
I agree
in this area now. But you go. Yeah, super teams. Just look at 4 teams we have right now. Yeah. Both teams have 2 good players, 2 really good players. Okay, so yeah, well, they both have 2 good players, then really good fitting pieces around them.
Right.
And then you're going to need that third player who can be consistently give you between 15 and 20.
Absolutely. So you look at these 4 teams that Miami said. Let's look at them again. Here are your 4 teams that are in the conference finals. OKC. To start with, SGA came over in the Paul George trade. Obviously, they drafted Chet Holmgren. They drafted Jalen Williams, Lou Dort, the other Jalen Williams, Case and Wallace. Cason.
Oh,
Kassan, or is it Cason or Kassan? I don't remember her name. Slam dunk Chet Holmgren.
I thought you said Cakes and Wallace. I'm
Yo.
like, fam, what is wrong?
Yo, you good? Yo, you all right?
Especially when
get some good peace.
Bill can't stay healthy. Bill was healthy for a lot of this year. He just sucked.
And he had that no trade clause sheet. You know what? He pretty much had control of the leverage of.
Yeah.
And number one, I'm still trying to figure out. I mean, only the Washington Wizards would be the dummies to give Bradley Beal a no trade clause, but I'll leave that one alone.
And then trade him.
That's stupid, man. So like I said, you see OKC's roster. Look at Minnesota. Draft Anthony Edwards with the first pick. Nas Reed they drafted. They got Mike Conley in the D'Angelo Russell trade. They got, obviously, we all know they get Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo in the Cat trade. They've been they draft Jaden McDaniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They got
y'all drafted Jaden McDaniels, didn't you?
Technically, he was our pick, but he went to OKC in the Dennis Schroeder trade. He ended up going to Minnesota. Yeah. So technically, he was actually OKC's pick because we got Dennis Schroeder, and they ended up somehow moving to Minnesota. Imagine he would have been on OKC.
That's a good fit for him. In Minnesota.
Greg said, that was Miami said, Knicks be building. Look at them now. Well, we're going to get there too. Greg said, I got Oklahoma and the Knicks. I'm with you there. Let's go to the East. The Pacers. They get Tyrese Halliburton in this trade from Sacramento for Buddy Hield. I mean, with him and Buddy Hield for Sabonis. And then they draft Miles Turner. They get Siakam in the trade. They draft Nembhard and Mathurin and those guys. And now so they've built through the draft as well. So, and through young players. And Tyrese Halliburton saying, am I still overrated? And then let's go to the Knicks. Obviously they signed Jalen Brunson as a free agent and one for the MVP. Oh, I got to add Alex Caruso getting traded for Josh Giddey.
I know we had that conversation earlier this year in the group chat. OKC definitely won that trade.
They did. And they ain't nothing to sign Josh Giddey, but I think Caruso's a better fit. By the way, show you how things just come full circle. Alex Caruso was in the Thunder's organization as an undrafted rookie. He was on their G League team 10 years ago.
And his coach in the G League?
Mark Daigneault, the current coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder. You think he didn't have a little insight on who Alex Caruso was as a player, ladies and gentlemen? But yeah, you look at the Pacers, look at the Knicks. Obviously getting Jalen Brunson. They trade for Cat. They trade for OG Anunoby. They traded for Mikal Bridges. Traded for Josh Hart. Obviously the whole Nova Nick thing. They drafted Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride. And now they're one series away from being back in the finals for the first time since '99. Yeah. So they're doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I want to go to some. Let me go back to the Nuggets. I want to go play something after their loss from Sunday. This is Aaron Gordon on the scheduling in the NBA playoffs.
I would really, really appreciate it if there were a couple of days in between games in the playoffs instead of every other day, regardless if you go 7 games. And I understand if you do your work early and you get first seed, then you can have some time off. But I think the days in between games, not just off day and a travel day, but a travel day and a recovery day, just two days. I think the product of the game would be a lot better. I think there'd be just a better product on the floor, just to give all these professional athletes just one more day of rest, and you would see a higher level of basketball, probably less blowouts.
Let me go first. All right, see, and look who walked right into the chat when I'm playing this video. Our boy Fat. Same schedule when you niggas won the chip, huh? Let me go there. Thank you, Fat. let me say this to Aaron Gordon. And by the way, applauding him for playing out there with that hamstring injury, which probably would have kept him out a month any other time. So salute. And
we got to check their medical staff.
Medical staff worked overtime to make sure he was good to go for a game 7. No, don't change the schedule. I get what you're saying. You don't want the games. You don't want them turn. You don't want the finals bleeding into July, because then it's bleeding into summer, the draft. It's bleeding into the beginning of the free. You got to push back the draft. You got to push back free agency.
Unless you shorten the regular season.
And that will never happen. And even though that has been the one thing that people have suggested, but these owners will not give up 15 games. Because that's all you probably need to do. You shorten the season like 66, 67, 65 game, whatever. I want to put requirements on who makes All NBA. They play about 50 games, whatever. That's still stupid to me also. But if they got rid of I think with preseason, the NBA is different than preseason in the NFL. With NFL, because you're one injury away from your career being older, I think with preseason in the NBA, you need as many reps as possible. Fact says these new era niggas, man, we need more days off. Okay, cool. Playoffs end. Okay.
Playoff in August, and then the draft, and then the mandatory the camp start in fucking September. That don't make no sense, man.
I don't know what Aaron Gordon's
man. How about this, dog? He said you'll get less blowouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had 2 days before they played Game 7, right?
Exactly.
And they lost by 40, right?
Uh-huh. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dog, man, you just got to chill, man. And see, this is the time when me as a person who is I stick up for today's basketball, is when I want to tell some of these niggas to shut the hell up. Because, dog, we've been watching these playoff series every other day.
Yep.
Forever.
What up, 504?
Forever. And then we also talking about back in the 90s and stuff when players played all 82 games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then come in and play every other day, dog. Like, man, y'all just got to just chill, man. Like, man, this is not comfortable for you. The playoffs shouldn't be comfortable for you.
No, you're not supposed to be comfortable. You're playing the best of the best. Like she said, wasn't games 1 through 6 like every other day. But that ain't the point.
Yes,
that ain't the point though. Like Fast said, the schedule ain't changed. Because you got the same schedule when y'all got to the finals 2 years ago, and y'all smoked Miami in 5 games. Which also is your argument. So if you do your job, you take care of your business, you get the rest. No, you're not changing the schedule. We already got the in-season tournament. We already got the play-in tournament. Come on now.
These are all kind of new technology supposed to be more athletic, right?
That's right. And what are we talking about, Aaron Gordon?
That's supposed to be more athletic, kind of goes into these new players.
Right, come on, man.
Because the power and force that they use to generate is, I get it, but fam, listen, man. I don't think, and no disrespect, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think Jason Tatum tore his Achilles because he didn't have extra day off.
No, he didn't. He tore his Achilles because he just stepped the wrong way and boom.
That's not how shit happens, man. Fam, y'all sound like this really does sound soft. Like y'all, that really does sound like some soft shit.
It was. And I like Aaron Gordon, but let me be clear.
And I can't call him soft because you played on that fake.
Hey, yo!
All right.
You played on the injured hamstring.
So they said.
You played on the injured hamstring, and
so they said.
So
they said.
You played.
I think it's like the Torian. Never mind.
But you played. But I don't want to hear this crap. About we need to fix the schedule. The answer is no. Aaron Gordon. Get out of here. Go and make smart right. And you better hope that they end up, find some way to bring this roster back to being a championship roster. I understand what Jokic was saying. He was caught up in the moment, but obviously, there's going to have to be some changes made to get y'all back to the finals, but we'll see what happens. All right. Let's talk some WNBA. So everyone talked about the WNBA.
Oh,
WNBA weekend we had a great weekend.
It did. It was a great weekend.
We had a great weekend. And
Oh, both them people gonna call out names.
oh yeah, we gonna talk.
Yeah, both them dudes gonna call out names.
Black guys.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we gonna get there.
Yeah.
So the good weekend, but obviously all eyes on the first Saturday. Shout out to the Liberty. They got their rings, and they basically went in there and whooped in a rematch. Well, not a rematch in last year's finals, but 2 years ago when they faced the
Las Vegas
Aces, and obviously, that Las Vegas Aces team really feel like they was missing somebody.
This is what I will say. From what I watched a lot of WNBA this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Asia Wilson's still the best player in basketball.
I agree, and not even close.
Yeah, Asia Wilson is still
she's still that woman.
Yeah.
She's still that. Yeah. And let me say this, but the Liberty looked like champs, and they showed up big time on ring day, getting their rings, hoisting their first banner, obviously, and now
shout out to Stewie.
Yeah, Stewie got another. I mean, Stewie just all Stewie knows is championships. You see how Stewie knows about his championships.
Yeah, she's a hooper, man.
Yeah. But yeah, the talk about the game was the second game, which involved the two of the youngest personalities in the WNBA, and that the Indiana Pacers took on the Chicago Sky in Indiana. But the Indiana Fever, I'm sorry, I said Pacers. The Fever just pretty much dominated the game. It was not even close. Caitlin Clark had a triple-double. Yeah, a good game from Leah Boston. DeWanda Bonner became the third all-time leading scorer in WNBA history. Angel Reese had 12 rebounds. I wonder why. But everyone's talking about this play that happened in the third quarter. I don't remember what happened, but y'all know what it was.
And look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up into Caitlin Clark. Afterwards has something to say as Clark walks away. We know there are always increased eyeballs, energy, and attention around the matchups between Reese and Clark, and Angel Reese is still going after Caitlin Clark in the aftermath.
Everyone in the arena had to know this foul was coming. As soon as you saw Angel Reese wide open, you knew that Caitlin Clark was going to come in and take that foul.
And joining us now, the one and only Nick Freeze. Nick, what up?
What it do?
You met right on time with discussing this Caitlin Clark Angel Reese. So obviously we all saw what happened. If y'all didn't see the play again, Angel Reese pushed off on I forgot her name, Natasha Howard on the rebound, and then Caitlin Clark, she did a take foul, making sure she did not get an easy layup. Angel Reese gets up, wants to call her crazy, said, "What the F is wrong with you?" Blah blah blah. They call flagrant one on Caitlin Clark. They call double technicals on Angel Reese and Aaliyah Boston. I listened to many people talk about this, and we'll talk. And I know we're gonna focus on two particular later on during the show. But I heard the great Cheryl Swoops yesterday on Gil's Arena talk about this, and she basically saying she had an issue. She didn't have an issue with the foul. She really had an issue with all the extracurricular activity. Leah Ball, like, where the hell were the rest of the Chicago Sky when Angel Reese was on the ground? So, Caitlin Clark, after they just get this easy dub,
Can't say something. You can't say certain things.
Oh no! Wait, we're gonna get. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna get to that. Oh boy!
Holy shit!
Wow,
That's funny.
Oh boy! All right, let me play.
Walk me through your perspective on the flagrant foul. What was the point you were trying to make to her?
It's just a good take foul, you know. If either Angel gets wide open 2 points, or we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a good take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
What she said. They asked Angel Reese about it post game, and here's what she said.
Just what you saw in that play, how you interpreted what happened.
Basketball play, ref got it right.
Basketball play, referee got it right. Move on.
You should have did.
Here's the deal. I had no problem with the play. Let's stop. I mean, and we're gonna get into the whole Ryan Clark RG3 stuff momentarily after we talk about the NFL and flag football, because we had. But I had no problem with the play. Angel Reese can't get all huffed up. You pushed off first, so her teammate had her teammates back. Let it go. If you want to prove you was right, make both of the damn free throws. I'll let y'all have that. I'll let y'all have at it.
That flop, Angel Reese flopped on that push, right? I don't believe Caitlin Clark did that to Angel Reese. I think she was selling it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Cool, but you can't get mad at that when the push off you had to get the rebound was way more egregious than what Caitlin Clark did.
Mm-hmm.
You can't flop and then get mad. Like, that just don't make no sense. And what Cheryl Swoops was saying when she said Caitlin Clark should have stood there and stood on business, Caitlin Clark wasn't trying to fight Cheryl Swoops.
That's true.
Caitlin Clark made a basketball play and said, I'm not giving up a free layup, which, and especially in the era she grew up and played in, she should understand that. It's not I'm trying to fight you. We just not getting an easy layup here. And I'm not letting you get an N1. Simple as that. That's as simple as what it is. I don't think it should have been a flagrant, but they called it flagrant. They got over it. And I remember I was watching the game, and the announcer said, remember the score when this happened. Right after that, Indiana went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana went absolutely crazy, and Chicago just didn't do nothing. And the other question, where was her teammates at? That kind of tells me a lot about how they feel about some of that going on.
Pretty much. My boy Greg says every time Clark and Reese play against each other, it's like the WNBA has an agenda, but it's just basketball. They respect each other, but it's definitely an agenda with the WNBA when it comes to Clark and Reese. Nick, what did you make of
everything? It's not the WNBA.
Hold on, Nick.
It's not WNBA.
Not WNBA. It's Caitlin Clark fans and then
Andrew
blacks.
Right. It's the stands versus the blacks.
That's all it is. It's the fans, dog. Them two players, they. My bad, Nick. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Nick first.
Me personally, shit, I didn't think it was that serious on either end. I mean, we've seen players like unnecessarily get mad about shit all the fucking time. Even the Madison the Palace, the fight, the initial foul that started that whole thing wasn't even that serious for it to get to the point of even where it was at before they started fighting in the crowd. Like, sometimes niggas is just frustrated, and something like that happens, and it just triggers it for some reason. It could have been that in that situation because it wasn't nothing serious going on, maybe, but I didn't think the Chicago was gonna win that game anyways because their team isn't as good as the Fever team anyways. The Fever made a lot of great moves this offseason, and I said it last year during the season, the best thing that happened to the Fever was the fact that Leah Boston figured herself out. Aaliyah Boston is definitely, you know, you can say what you want about Caitlin, but when Aaliyah Boston is balling, that team is damn near guaranteed to win. Like when she's balling, everything else falls right in place. And with the team that the players that they've added during the offseason, that team is built to, at the very least, go to the second round of the playoffs. Chicago didn't really do that with their team, but you know they also don't. That's the difference between having good guard play and not having good guard play. You know, the Fever have good guard play, and you know the Sky don't. So that's what that came down to. As far as Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark thing, whatever, they're forever going to be linked. There's going to be something going on literally every single time they play against each other, no matter what the result of the game is. It's going to be something going on. And I think both players know that. And I think both players honestly probably get frustrated behind it. You know, that, you know, as far as I can see, and people try to push the narrative of that these two players don't particularly like each other, even though numerous times both players have said that that is not true. And both players have acknowledged that it's the fan base is doing this and not the actual players. But for some apparent reason, this narrative keeps continuing, especially from one side's fan base, that this narrative of them not liking each other. And in all honesty, I don't think it's true. I think that they're both ultra competitive. They've been both of them have been in the top three ever since they were ever since they was in high school. So they've constantly been, you know, had some type of battles going on for like a long time. So, you know, I don't think that the play was that serious to get to the point where it was at.
Crazy enough. But we see what he's saying. I'm gonna say this. It's crazy how now everyone has opinion. And like it was just basketball, but now, like Mark said, you got the Caitlin Clark stands versus black people. And over the weekend, two voices in black sports.
They were my calling out names.
Had words, and we're gonna talk about them in a little while. So stay tuned, because calling out names, we're gonna talk about RG3 versus Ryan Clark. I want to get to some more funner topics, though. By the way, Nick Pat sent you this message saying that y'all scared to play Notre Dame, huh?
Who said that?
You don't know the story. It sounds might be the last year we get US. Because obviously there's talk that USC's that Notre Dame's not going to be on USC schedule following this season.
Well, that's what happens when the conference change happens. This happened with numerous rivalries beforehand when they join certain conferences. Sometimes the certain games don't fall in line for the conference. I think it's bullshit, but it wouldn't be the first time something like this has happened. I mean, if Notre Dame would just join the fucking conference and try to just bogart everything, it'd probably be a lot easier. But that's what they want to do.
So let's go ahead and talk. There was some big news today. So NFL owner meetings are going on. And by the way, the final is now final. Thunder 114, Nuggets 88. So Thunder take game one of the Western Conference Finals, game two on Thursday. Let me see what I want to go to. Before we get to the flag football, there's a story out about the NFL. Obviously, they're talking about the tush push, maybe getting rid of the tush push. But there's also another rules possible change is the seeding with the NFL with the playoffs. If you win your division, you are qualified for the playoffs. But they're debating on should it guarantee you a home playoff game. And this was if you look at how this went in the AFC, this wasn't an issue really. But in the NFC, this year you had both the Rams and you had both the Rams and the Buccaneers who won their divisions, but they had worse records then the Vikings, and say the Commanders.
We did.
So, case the Rams, the Rams and the
win your division.
The Rams and the Buccaneers would have been the 6th and 7th seed. I'm like this. What's the purpose of winning divisions then?
Yeah,
it wasn't their fault that they was in a division that was loaded, and the other teams weren't. I mean, come on, man. Sometimes we don't need to overthink the room. We don't need a conference. We do. Oh, if I say only the conference, we do hell we want. All right. I'm not for that. And obviously, this whole talk about banning the tush push, get that out of here too. I mean, stop the play.
Yeah, Buffalo. Quit complaining about it, because never mind.
Stop the play. That's all I'm gonna say. You don't want to see the play? Stop it. But the real big news came today, and it was officially voted and approved by the NFL and the Player Association that the NFL clubs have approved the participation for NFL players to compete in flag football during the 2028 Olympics here in LA. Here's how it's going down. So next back, NFL players' participation with their country's national flag football teams would, with a trial or qualification process in advance of the Olympic competition. The Olympic flag football team competition consists of 6 men teams, 6 women teams with 10 players per team, with a game itself of 5-on-5. Each participating country may select 1 player per NFL roster, in addition to permitting each team's designated international player to play for his country. So I'm gonna give you an example.
Travis Hunter playing for us.
So if you want Travis Hunter would be the only player you can take from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not the only player you want from the Jacksonville Jaguars. But like in a case like Christian Gonzalez from the Patriots, who's
wait,
what was that?
What happened?
All right, okay, I don't know what that was.
Oh, you don't know what that was?
What was that?
I'm about to show y'all.
Nico!
Say what's up. Say hi.
What up, Nico?
You ain't gonna say hi? Say hi.
But yeah, that is. But yeah, that's how the game. That's how it's going to look. We're going to get players now competing in the Olympics. Y'all go with this idea?
Nope.
No.
Why you don't like it, Mark?
I'll just take one. Well, I'll take 1-star player to get hurt. Because if like let's just say I see they got Jets up there, just Jefferson up there, and let's just say he playing in the Olympics and tears ACL. Oh, that shit shut down
immediately.
Nah,
that shit will be worse than the Pro Bowl.
Yep.
I'm not feeling it either because
they're gonna have us out there playing flag football,
and that's my point. There's a lot of these dudes who've been waiting for this their entire life. Now I can see,
yeah.
And this isn't, and I'm not, and it's not comparison to when basketball brought when USA brought in the Dream Team. This to me is more like, okay, you got these players. This sport was not a Olympic sport years forever. Now it just is now caught on with the masses internationally and in the city.
There's a bunch of players who is right under NFL level that didn't make the NFL for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
You can get some of those players. You got a lot of these players that might have went to LSU, might have went to Georgia, Tennessee, USC that didn't make the league, but was really damn good football players. Go get some of those players, man.
And they
they got players who are ballers. I don't know if y'all watch sometime on Infinite where they having these NFL flag football leagues who've been waiting for this moment in my way. Michael Malone is right there. Is the former Nuggets head coach Michael Malone, who's now been serving as an analyst for ESPN during the conference finals. But yeah, I don't know why. I mean, yeah, it sounds good to say, hey, Lamar Jackson and Tyreek Hill playing flag football, but yeah, you got players who've been waiting for this moment their whole life, and if this happens, you're not gonna. It's not gonna go. It's not gonna end so well. Well, like I said, one bad injury, one plan, feel it in a different direct, also in the turf, wherever they're playing on. It might see what happens 3 years from now. A whole another 3 years until the Olympics get here. But for the fun of it, had a I think it was a draft. You can build your ultimate flag football team. No, we lost Nick. I don't know. He on, but I don't know where he at. All right, so if you got $15 to build the ultimate 5-man football, ultimate flag football team. Why Josh only at $2? Yeah, but I consider it a bargain. You can get
Burrow only $1?
Yeah. Oh, nigga. I can get.
They got Jaden Daniels higher than Josh Allen?
Oh. Jaden Daniels, you get Jaden Daniels for $3. Saquon for $3.
Another MVP season coming.
Mm-hmm.
What receiver? You can get CeeDee Lamb for $4, Malik Neighbors for $1.
Obviously, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are $5. Amon-Ra St. Brown you get for $2. You can get Malik Neighbors for $1. Trey McBride for $1. Y'all know some of those are tight ends, but obviously we're playing football. Okay, but you're playing, but it's gonna be 5-on-5. So 5 players on offense, 5 players on defense. Obviously, I see my guys retains were $4. Jahmyr Gibbs worth $5 because obviously he's a speedster. How would I build this team? That would be, that'd be a squad. If I can build this team, I give Josh Allen for $2, and then give me Josh Allen for $2. Then give me Tyreek Hill for $4. That's $6 right there. Give Malik Neighbors for $7. $1, that's $7. So that's 1, 2, 3. I need 2 wide receivers.
A defensive player and then a running back?
Oh, easy. Well, I'm biased on the defensive player. $4 to give you Surtain. That's $11 right there. I don't want to pay McCaffrey $4, so give me Saquon for $3. And if I get $1 left over, I'll put Trey McBride on the.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that team.
My boy JT Marshall Meiser. He said, give me Lamar, Tyreek Hill, George Kittle, Derrick Henry, and Josh Jacobs. Ooh.
Yeah. I'll take Josh Allen, CeeDee Lamb.
That's $6. That's $6.
Give me Jamar Chase.
That's $11.
Give me Gardner.
Sauce Gardner. That's $2. That's $13 right there. So you get $2 more.
Give me
Josh Jacobs.
That's 14.
Bless you. And probably man, fuck it, man. Give me neighbors too, man. You heard?
That's $15. All right, Nick. Give you $15.
Hey, chill out, man.
You can build your ultimate flag football team based on you build an ultimate flag football team with this squad right here, with these players from this pool right here.
All right. First and foremost, market to chill with that last player he said. Let me see. Oh, for quarterback, I'm gonna go Burrow. I'm gonna go Burrow.
He's having league neighbors. That's crazy. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nick.
I'm gonna go Joe Burrow. Adams. Barkley. Bowers. And Surtain.
You getting Joe Burrow for $1.
Yep.
Joe Burrow for $1 is the same.
Adams.
That's $2. That's $3. You have $3.
Brock Bowers.
Yep. For sure, Brock Bowers.
All right, that's $5 right there. That's $5. You got $10 left.
God damn.
Let me get Saquon.
That's $3. So you got $8 right now. Got $7 left.
Man. Let me get Sauce.
That's $2. You got $5. That's $10 now.
Let me get Surtain. And Jacobs.
That's $1. You got $4.
Let me get Patrick Surtain. Let me get PS2.
That's your squad right there. All right. So we'll talk more about this in 3 years when the flag football comes around. But yeah, that's the news. But that's the news today. All right. Let's get to the segment that's often imitated. It's never duplicated. Some people say stuff in the sports world they need to get called out for, and this is the time and place to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for calling out names. And I think we just need to go ahead and just address. What up, Paco? The elephant in the room.
I'm here.
They're good. Obviously, we've been talking about this whole situation with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And obviously, a lot of people have had some stuff to say about it. I told y'all what Cheryl Swoop said on Gil's Arena yesterday. But now, but two people who've been really, seem like they've been really invested in this has been Robert Griffin RG3, Robert Griffin III, and Ryan Clark. So let me play out what RG3 said when it first happened. I'm not gonna play the whole 3 minutes. I'm not playing the whole 3 minutes of either one. So I'm gonna play 60 seconds of both clips, and then we're gonna go from there. This is RG3 first.
Let me inform you about what happened. Caitlin Clark committed a hard foul on Angel Reese as she was wide open for a free, easy layup. Routine play. Every one of you that's watching has heard your coach tell you, hey, we ain't gonna give them no easy points, no easy baskets in the paint, baby. So why do I think Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark? It could be the fact that Aaliyah Boston had to save Angel Reese from ending her career. This is a still shot. After the foul that Caitlin Clark put on Angel Reese tried to hit her. But if it wasn't for Aaliyah Boston putting her arms in the way, Angel Reese would not be playing basketball anymore because she was going to sucker punch Caitlin Clark. Now, you tell me a time when you've seen somebody get fouled on a basketball court in a professional league where they tried to almost sucker punch somebody that they were friends with because of a hard foul. I've seen LeBron James get fouled by Dwayne Wade, but it was a hard foul. LeBron didn't get up and try to smack him upside the head or hit him in the face from behind. But that's what Angel Reese did to Caitlin Clark. So where was this type of reaction last year when Angel Reese got chokeslammed by Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun? Y'all remember that? So after watching the play, I tweeted out, after watching Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul on Angel Reese and the aftermath, there is no way Angel Reese can continue the lie that she doesn't dislike Caitlin Clark. I know what hatred looks like. Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. Not some basketball rivalry hate either. Hate.
We moved in to being
finding the RG3, well, RG3 had to say. And then we're not playing the whole thing. Oh, let me go.
There you go.
Yeah.
we moved in to being able to read the expressions of a person and know their intent, know their character, know their perspective. But he does understand hate because I think he also understands the hate of self. When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts, Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story.
Right.
The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what Black women have to endure in this country, about what
All right. So here's what RG.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy RG3.
Little clip, and this is RG3's response to
guys, because there's been a lot of buzz, a lot of conversations about my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, which was purely based in basketball. But I think all of you know there's a line in life that you just simply don't cross. Wives and children are always off limits, and Ryan Clark has.
I don't even like this speaking shit.
All right. So Ryan Clark saw what RG3's last video, and then he tweeted this. Bruh, you know what it is with me and you. I saved you the entire season on Monday Night Football. I urge people to let you be you, no matter how corny, how bad of a teammate you were. I had your back. What did you do? Invite someone on the show you know I don't fool with to ask questions about me, and then hit me weeks later and tell me you're gonna challenge one of my takes. You're a phony, bro. One of the worst teammates I've ever had, both on the field and in TV. You got to do what you got to do. I didn't attack your wife. I spoke on what you do on social media and TV. Like I said, I met your wife and she seemed like a lovely lady. That was your worth more than the color of you be good, bro. All right, man. Okay.
All right.
Who went first?
Y'all go first.
All right. I'll go first, Mark.
Go ahead, Mark.
First, Nick.
Respect to Ryan Clark.
There ain't no respect. Ryan Clark. Man, both of them look like idiots. Because it wasn't about basketball. Number one, because they basically took what happened on the court and hijacked it to their own personal beef.
You're absolutely right.
That's all that was. When RG3 responded as a chance to finally let everybody know how he personally feels about RG3.
Yep.
And that's exactly what it was.
Sucker shit.
It was weak. It was weak. Because you didn't have to bring up RG3. We know RG3 is married to a white girl. We know RG3 got biracial kids. We ain't got to bring up all that. But no, you took this time to bring up, okay, what happened when y'all worked together on Monday Night Countdown? I didn't bother looking to see who was the person that he looked up that he had on the show that questioned him, but it don't even matter. Like what Ryan Clark did. Honestly, RG3 playing the victim, I didn't like that either. Both of them just took something that was clearly about basketball and made it personal for their own agenda. It shouldn't have gotten that way. Just say you disagree with what the man said, move on. But no, don't even address the issue. Leave it to the experts. Because when I heard Monica McNutt and Sinead talk about it, they had it.
Is that when you get nothing in McDonald's parking lot?
I don't know. But
Mark,
yo, you all right, man?
Mark, chill out, fam. Nah, fuck all that. I know the underline behind that statement. Nah, this nigga's a menace.
No. I didn't catch it at first, Nick. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Go ahead.
Wait, you catch what?
Go ahead, Nick.
Wait, John.
Okay.
John, you need to chill.
Man. Yo.
Hey, yo.
Go ahead, Nick. Give your takes on this clown stuff.
I'm gonna be real. That whole exchange was dumb. It was personal. You know, it went way beyond. And to be honest with you, ESPN needs to talk to both of them about this situation, because this is a situation that's unnecessarily bleeding over.
Hold on, Nick. RG3 is not with ESPN. RG3 is not with ESPN no more. He's with Fox.
Well, even Fox, like, they all need to, like, whoever's in charge needs to talk to both of them.
All those layoffs. So
they need to talk to both of them. They need to talk to both of them, because the shit is stupid and is making both networks look dumb, because they have two people that are highly represented on both sides are making a damn fool of themselves on TV over some personal shit. Like, if I was Fox and I was ESPN, I'd go to both of them and be like, look, ESPN to be like, Ryan Clark, dog, stop letting this personal shit ooze over into what's going on over here. And the same thing with RG3. Now, the thing is, and the whole, like, the black woman comment was so unnecessary. Was it true? Doesn't matter if it was true or not, but it was unnecessary. It wasn't necessary for what was going on at that particular time. It was an unnecessary pop shot. Yep. And it's just causing even more BS because of Marcellus Wiley. Of course, he had to go ahead and chime in. And based off of the information I know, he put out a false statement again. So once again, like I've said before, I don't pay attention to shit that Marcellus Wiley say. Yes, I don't pay attention to nothing they say. I don't pay attention to nothing Marcellus Wiley say, because there's been too many times that you've said some shit that's been proven that's been false. So that alone, and you're supposed to be a journalist. The biggest thing about journalism is your credibility. Your credibility has been questioned too many times. I don't know why the hell you still have a job at this point. So that shit is ridiculous. Let Don Bill need to shut the fuck up too. It's just it's dumb. That's why the whole situation is dumb.
Robert Griffin, because this was started everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Angel Reese had nothing to do about basketball. You're projecting on what you think about maybe about and then Ryan Clark again when he started his Twitter rant, and he started saying what he did when he stuck up for him. If that is true, you should never speak about that.
Right. That's why you sometimes you gotta stay in house, bro.
Yeah, man. Like now I feel like, man, you did it just so you can have that over his head. Like that's not what you truly felt. You know what I'm saying? Like things not going well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know this is trash on both parties.
I agree.
I mean, and then we talking. Neither one of them has said anything bad about each other.
Right.
They, like you said, John, they made that about them.
They really did.
That's some crazy shit. But anyway, I'm done. Both of them suck shit.
Well, I do have one more call out name. It's actually a shout out. I actually want to Mark. I want to say this is you and Nick actually educated me about this long.
I understand.
Yeah. And a couple years ago, I didn't understand why y'all kept talking about Steve Kerr on a certain topic.
Holy shit! No. This is that's all Nick. Nick got a problem.
I never understood this topic.
What's that?
But yeah, Steve Kerr. You'll see in a second. But in the end, Ryan Clark and RG3, come on, dude. I mean, be better. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Be better, please. I mean, obviously, I guess the football season ain't going on. Y'all need something. Y'all need something to do. So that's why y'all just try to use y'all podcast to just go ahead and start with some attention over the weekend. That's pretty much all y'all did. So that's pretty much what happened. My last call on names is shout out, and it's for years Nick had this story about Steve Kerr, and I never understood it, but now I do. Thanks to Colin Jost and Michael Che, a weekend update.
Golden State Warriors head coach Steve Kerr is here with his family. I got to meet his son Nick, and I love Steve. I like Nick. But I wouldn't say I'm a Nick Kerr lover.
Seems besides the point, Colin, but sure.
Yo, Nick.
I discovered that before anybody said anything about that.
What? Nick. Do you see what Nick wrote on the screen? Whoa, Nick, relax.
I mean, shit, it's the fucking truth. But anyways,
Yo, first of all, call the Joes. Colin Jones, man. Look, I gotta get props because that's not a. By the way, Colin Jones is winning in life. He bagged Scarlett Johansson, but that is not an easy place to be in. To have to be the one to say that. We gotta play this one more time for the one time. This was Colin Jones on the season finale of SNL. This 50th season.
Golden State Warriors head coach Steve Kerr is here with his family. I got to meet his son Nick, and I love Steve. I like Nick. But I wouldn't say I'm a Nick Kerr lover.
Besides the point, Colin, but sure.
dog, that shit will forever be funny, dog. That shit was funny when I first brought this up on the show. That shit was funny now.
First of all, Colin Jones and Michael Che are my favorites from Weekend Update of all time. Whether it was Norm McDonald, Seth Meyers, whatever. Colin Jones, that just made him number one. The simple fact that Colin Jones even had the stones to even go out there and try to say it without knowing how it's going to sound coming from a white guy.
Dog, that's what makes it so. The fact that they write each other's jokes is so fucking funny. That shit is hilarious.
Michael Che was like, "Yeah, you got this one, bro. You got this one." Oh, that's funny.
That's hilarious.
Oh man. All right, that's called. All right, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Friday Sports4U, No Rule tomorrow with Mark. It was IG Live.
I want to watch tomorrow's show.
Another thing, obviously, shout out to our partners over at Culture Clash. They was obviously shout out to CWE, shout out to CS Culture Clash, DWE,
DWP.
Obviously, Humble Roses. Wait,
what you say about the Roses?
I said Humble. Yo, you good? Shout out to Marshall Mike. Shout out to Talk It Up, all the crew. And then we'll be back on Friday. We'll recap games 2 of the Western Conference Finals, and we'll be watching game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Knicks and the Pacers. We didn't get, obviously, me and Mark said Thunder. I said Thunder in 7. You said Thunder in 6. Nick, Nick, who you got? Thunder or the Wolves?
Oh, man, I got Baby Jordan in 7.
All right. In the East, I got Knicks in 7. I don't have no thoughts on that Brett Favre documentary. Don't get us scared.
Man, fuck Brett Favre. Anyways, man, fuck him.
Explain what happened with the whole cover-up. I don't want to watch that because I'm gonna get angry watching it. So no, I'm not.
I nigga document these nuts.
That's one thing about. That's one thing on Netflix I will not be watching. Sorry. I got Knicks in 7. Mark, you got.
Pacers in 6.
Pacers in 6. Nick, who you got? Knicks, Pacers.
I got Knicks in 6.
Say again, I think you froze.
I got Knicks in 6.
You might have frozen again. We're going to get up out of here. Thank y'all for joining the show. Make sure you subscribe to Sports4U Podcast on YouTube.
Coming soon.
Summertime's here. That's Mark. That's Nick Freeze.
That's us being frozen like that is crazy.
That was just wild.